Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I am Behzad Hussain and today is the first question answer session with the members of our Semantic SEO community on WhatsApp. Members have added 50 plus questions in the file. This session is going to be detailed and lengthy. Some questions are interesting here. I am happy new learners I am happy new learners are taking interest in learning advanced SEO strategies. Some members from Sir Koray's private community have also added some advanced and in-depth questions. You are going to deep dive in diversified scenarios and discussions. This is the first part of our first question answer sessions. Watch this video complete. This may be the start of something really amazing. The second part of our question answer session will be shared after 24 hours of part 1 upload. So let us start now. I will read your questions one by one and then try to answer each question with reasonable details. The first question is, how can I identify the user intent behind searches for cleaning services in Dubai? The first step to analyze your intents The first step to analyze user intents of the target audience is to perform sub-analysis. I use my custom GPT to do sub-analysis. To use the sub-analyzer agent, I give it the query that I searched on the sub and then I paste the whole sub data in this agent. To search the localized search results, I use Valentine.app. In this Valentine.app, write your query in the first box, then change the language in this tool to select the language of that location country level. Then write the target city or state or the country in geocode box. Here I searched cleaning services in Dubai with Valentine.app. Then I copied the whole sub data from the first page only and pasted into the custom GPT. Now the sub analyzer agent will help you understand what the dominant user intents are available on the first page of sub results. You can also check entities, sub-entities, attributes, and topic clusters from the sub data. I am writing the steps on the sheet so that you can understand the overall approach in a better way. First step is sub-analysis. The second step is query network analysis from SEO tools. Need to understand what are the user intents of users. I am sharing this sub analysis GPT link with you guys so that you can use it for your personal projects. Here is the link in the messages you can use. And then for keyword segregator, we have a lot of queries from SEO tools. When we extract a query network from SEO tools, for example, SEMrush or Ahrefs or any other tool, there is always a long list of keywords, so it is always difficult to read and understand each query one by one. So I have a custom GPT to understand the user intents and contexts from the query network. So I give maximum 500 queries to this GPT and it segregates queries in a better way. Queries are segregated based on user intents and context. So it is always helpful to use AI tools for micro steps of your SEO processes. So I am mentioning link here you can utilize here and SERP analysis, also the link of SERP analyzer. I am pasting here for you guys. You can utilize it. So here is the SERP analyzer. You can use both GPTs to understand user intents behind searches. Next question is, please explain the EAV in topical map and how to identify the exact entities and corresponding attributes in our niche. So every time we start topical map by understanding the context and user intent. I am opening a new file so that we can discuss concepts in detail. EAV. EAV model means entity attribute value. Entity attribute value. Whenever we are introducing entities, whenever we are using brand entities, we need to combine the attributes of our entity in that section of content so that search engine is able to extract information in triplet format that is called semantic triples. That is subject, predicate, object. So we arrange our information in subject, predicate, object so that information is extractable by the search engines. We utilize EAV model to build entities and attributes connection in a right way. So here, Kaim Raza is asking for the EAV in topical map and how to identify the exact entities and corresponding attributes in our niche. First of all, the process is always same. First, we do SERP analysis. You can do SERP analysis if you use this custom GPT. So it will introduce, explain the entities and how these are related. You can utilize this. It is using GPT for thinking. I am giving this prompt again, so it will give more precise data to us for the clarity. You can manually understand entities and their related entities from the SERP, but uh, when you are new in your niche, so it is always difficult to understand what are the related entities. Then you can utilize AI tools and many other software. For example, we have entities checker. This is a website. I am sharing the link in the sheet so you can utilize it. Entities checking from the existing content. You can utilize this tool. You just need to put text razor or Google NLP API. You need to put NLP API in this software, that is Python based software, and then you need to put your competitors content. This tool will help you understand what entities and their attributes are present in the content. So this is the brief way to understand entities, and in our custom GPT, it will explain what are the entities. And yes, so for cleaning services, I am making it bigger. For cleaning services in Dubai, these are the main entities, their type, key attributes, and relationship to the main entity. So this way you can analyze SERP and extract entities from the SERP data. And when you will search your query in SEO tools, you will find query network, and then you can segregate them with other GPT that I have already shared the link for contextual entities for your topic. So this way we search entities and their attributes for topical map, and we identify what are the exact entities and their corresponding attributes in our niche. Next question is how to start with a topical map. Is it first keyword research, then sub analysis, related questions, PA, then when you have all this creating a topical, but how I miss an SOP? Okay, I am going to start a new series for topical map creation within 2 3 days. First video will be live and I will share the whole plan. Briefly, I can share the step. First of all, is understanding the topic, topical map. Understanding first step, you need to understand what is the topic. It includes frame semantics analysis, lexical path analysis. These tools, these semantic analyses help us understand what are the topics, what are the meanings, what are the entities and attributes that we need to cover in our topic. One custom GPT from Sir Koray, knowledge domain terms. And your question is how to, and the second question from Kaim Raza was how to understand the entities. Cleaning services in Dubai. Cleaning services, this is our entity. We will give this to this GPT and this will help you understand what are the entities. This one is the first tool and then the second one is this GPT. You can utilize it. So it gives you near 200 entities with so much detail. This is the term or entity, its definition, its importance score for your search topic, then what are the adjacent contexts, and then most important named entities, and then most essential predicates that will be used for this entity. So you can utilize this one to understand what are the related topic, and this way we start understanding our niche. And then second is the sub analysis. We do sub analysis. I have explained, I have shared the GPT, and then we do query path, query network analysis. Query network means all the queries of our target audience about the topic we are searching for or we are going to write. So we search this query a target topic on in the SEO tools, maybe semrush, Ahrefs, or any other SEO tool when you search your topic. So you extract broad match queries, and then we do context and intent analysis. So this way we understand and then we map query deserve page. So we try to understand what queries need the page and we define and then we convert it into processed topical map that includes title tag, URL structure, then image name, image alt tag, meta description. Meta description is not a ranking factor. If you leave it, it will not hurt your page, it will not hurt your rankings, but it is an information retrieval zone. So we try to optimize it with related and contextual entities. So whenever we have a question here regarding topical map process, this is the very brief and simplest topical map process.
You can recall this step-by-step process whenever we have a question regarding topical map process. Next question is from Adnan. How can I create a content brief for a marketing agency or whatever it is? How can I do that? What is the process actually? Okay, for content brief process, while doing query network analysis, we do some authority hacking analysis, that is competitor analysis. So we understand who are the competitors that are ranking on SERP. So we find their topics, we find their keywords, we understand what contexts our competitors have covered. So the process is same for this step. So it is a full research based, and then we start. So it is number one, then it is number two. After all this research, we explore, we finalize context vectors, or you can say heading vectors. We focus on attributes prominence based on prominence, prominence, popularity, and relevance. These three are the criteria based on which we segregate attributes of the topic, attributes of the entity that we are covering on our page, and then we arrange contextual vectors, or you can say set our context hierarchy based on the popularity and prominence. And then we define, so it is the first step in the content brief. So here after that we finalize contextual hierarchy. So you can call it heading level, which will be H2 level heading, and which heading will be H3 or H4 level. So based on our contextual flow, how the context is flowing for the full topic, we mention the contextual hierarchy. Are there new members? Yes. So here we are discussing content brief process, contextual contextual hierarchy, and then after contextual hierarchy, we have contextual structure. Contextual structure means content under planning, content planning for each heading. And then the fourth section, fourth column on our content brief is contextual connections. So these are the internal links that we define for the page, which pages will be connected with this document. So what internal links we need on a page, we decide it on the content brief level. Content brief is actually a instructional manual for our writers. We prepare a content brief. In semantic SEO, we believe that SEOs need to do some research. What information, what context, what user intents we need to cover in each document on our website. So SEOs need to do research and prepare this content brief. If you say to writers, if you tell your writers you need to write this much content, this is the heading or this is the outline, You are putting research work on them, but you need to do research what information competitors have in their document and what information we need to outrank that ranking competitor. So this is why we prepare content brief and instructional manual and give it to the writers to write on these lines, to give specific instructions what to write, how much to write, and in which style to write. So this is the content brief process. The next one is how to identify a central entity and how do I research topics for the central entity. Also, how should I decide which attributes to include? Central entity is something else, and then attributes filtration is something else. So let me explain. We have five fundamentals of a topical map according as per Koray's framework. First one is source context. What is the user need that we are going to fulfill on our website, or it is a business model, or you can say business model or monetization. Then second thing is central search intent of our target audience. So which audience cluster we are going to target on our website? What are the user needs that we are going to fulfill on our website? This is central search intent. Third component is central entity. And here Sadin Ahmed is asking about central entity, the main topicality of our website. Here we define what is the main topic of our website. So we try to search for when search engine will be looking at our website, what main topic of our website we want to show to search engines. For example, we are offering services about cleaning, cleaning services in Dubai. So what is the topicality of this website? If we are giving only this service, so topicality will be cleaning business. Business is attribute and cleaning will be the central entity. So here cleaning will be the central entity. We want a topicality for the cleaning topic, and we recommend that it is better if your central entity is a Wikipedia entity. So it means it is very much established and well known entity, but it is not always recommended. But it is not always required. Maybe your central entity doesn't have a page on Wikipedia, but it must be a recognized entity by the search engines. If you don't know what is an entity, you can watch my YouTube channel to understand about the entity. In a very brief way, entity is anything in the real world that is recognized by the search engines. I am Behzad. If search engine knows that I am a person, what I do, to whom I serve, what is what are my other attributes like age, date of birth, or my profession, occupation. If search engine recognizes that I am an entity, so this is a person entity type. And if a thing, concept, or anything from the real world that is recognized by the search engines is a is an entity. So central entity must be a recognized entity by the search engines. I have explained that to identify central entity, you need to search what is the main topic of your services. So services is the one attribute of your main topic or main entity. How do I research topics for the central entity? So just a simple recommendation is that go above than the services level. business model level and see what is the parent topic of these services. So this way you can reach your central entity. And then let me complete the five fundamentals of a topical map. Core section of a topical map, then outer section of a topical map. Core section is regarding the business activities. All the pages regarding end user need fulfillment or whatever our brand is offering business, that is, all those pages will be covered in the core section of a topical map. And then we have outer section, all the other attributes of our central entity. So these will be mostly info plus navigational needs, intents or needs. If you are confused about these intent types, you can watch video on my YouTube channel, Info Needs, where user wants only the information about what is cleaning service, what are the cleaning services. So it is an informational query. Navigational queries are user is looking for some specific item. For example, uh, company A versus company B. Company A cleaning services prices. So this is navigational intent. How should I decide which attributes to include? So when you have identified your central entity, then you will need to identify what are the related attributes to my central entity and to my business activity. So these two types of attributes are the more important and you need to cover on your website. Question number six from Madur Rahman, I think. Does the depth of the micro content section matter or does it simply depend on the relevance of questions being asked after the contextual border? Yes, very good question, Ahmad. So the answer is macro context must cover 70 to 80% of our document. You can assign micro context only 20 to 30%. If anyone doesn't know what is a macro context and what is a micro context, so according to Google's quality raters guidelines, a page has three main components. First one is main content, where you fulfill the user intent and context that you have mentioned in your title tag. And then the second part is micro context. The quality rater guidelines call it supplementary content. Supplementary content is to connect this page topic with other pages context on our document. So in our micro context section, we cover the related portion, and from macro to micro context, we shift and we use contextual bridge or contextual border. So the main content must be 70 to 80%, and you are allowed to bring micro context section or supplementary content 20 to 30%. So the question is, does the depth of the micro context section matter? Yes, it matters a lot, because if you give more weightage to your micro context, the whole context of the document will be shifted from macro to micro. So it will confuse search engines. What do you talk about? So we need to make sure that our macro context covers the majority of our content, and and micro context or supplementary content covers only 20 to 30%. Then the next part of question is if you are building a topical map for a business based in a city and if there are queries relevant to country level, should we add content around country level too or just focus on city level? For example, if the query is study X degree in Edinburgh, then should we also cover study X in Scotland or UK? No. When we are not offering services on country level, no need to have that topical coverage. In local SEO, we need a very specific audience. When we expand our content through contextual coverage or outer section of the topical map, we try to make sure we need to cover only related queries for the locality. When we have generic topics, it becomes difficult to convert the leads because you have attracted wrong audience. In one of my previous social media posts, I showed that one local business in Canada is getting 74% non-Canadian traffic. Only 26% traffic is from Canada. So that 74% traffic is useless for the local business. They will never be converting for the business purposes. So in local SEO, we need to be very much specific to the locality of the business. Otherwise, random traffic will not help us. Then the next question is from Muhammad Mehroz Shafiq. After preparing a product or category or content brief, is it possible to gain GPT-5 based on 48 micro-semantic rules so it consistently writes content based on that brief? I am exploring this approach because the client budget is limited means how much we can automate. Yes, whenever there is an urge to automate anything, just ask one question from yourself. Can you control the output? So this is a simple rule of thumb. If you can control the output, you can utilize automation AI tools. But here for product pages or category pages, Mehroz, the issue is that you need to make sure information is not the same for each product page. You need to bring unique information. You need to include the new information, otherwise duplicate information may be harmful for your website. Uh, the simple task may be you can create multiple content briefs or content brief for each page level, each product page, and then you can automate with a very limited level. So you need a lot of human editing, otherwise it may be a misfit for your website. So whenever you think about mass level automation, it is always risky. You need to make sure you can control the output and the quality of content is not below average. Next question is from Hamza. For someone completely new, what's the best way to approach topical map creation step by step so I can understand the foundations before moving into content briefs and writing? I don't understand what do you mean by someone completely new? Completely new in SEO or completely new in this semantic SEO uh, concepts or Koray's framework. If you are completely new in SEO, then you need to understand some basics of SEO. Then you can understand topical map. First, understand entity types, user intents, how knowledge graph works in the backend of search engine. First, understand these basics, and then you are good to go with topical map creation. Let's assume you are asking that you have some traditional SEO experience and now you want to understand topical map creation. So I have mentioned the topical map creation steps in question 2 or 3. Yes, in question 3, I have mentioned this step. You can consider this step and you are good to go. Next question is from how do you decide which entities and subtopics should be included in a topical map to make sure it fully covers a niche and builds topical authority? I have explained the step-by-step process, so the depth of each step provides us a lot of information. So we need to mention that entities and attributes on our website. So this is the way when we do research in yes in this topical map process when we do research for all these steps. So these are the 5 steps where we do research and finalize what are the related topics, entities, and their attributes that are needed on our website. We cover all those in our topical map. So this process of research and exploration helps you to understand what are the related topics. So the next question is how to fix my central search intent and entity and attributes, and then how to start topical map keyword research first or set the entity map first. And where do I have to use my central entity like subdirectory, slug, etc. So this question belongs to topical map step-by-step process. I have explained that. Central search intent means what are the overall intents of your target audience that you are going to satisfy or cover on your website. So first you need to map the user intents, your target audience intent to whom you are offering any product or service or any other specific user action needed by your target audience. And then while doing research, I have explained about you will find entities and attributes. Keyword research for topical map, you can utilize keyword research tools, for example, SEMrush, Href, or any other tool. You can extract the broad match keywords and then segregate them. Either you can do it manually or you can use my custom GPT to segregate keywords based on user context and user intents. Then you will understand that in this query network, these are the diversified user intents that I need to satisfy on my website. And where do I have to use my central entity? Yes, central entity will be utilized in the root page. In topical map, in Koray's framework, we provide URL structure along with topical map. It is based on this root, seed, node structure. And why we utilize this structure? Because there is a Google patent, topic distillation via subsite retrieval. It is a Microsoft patent. I am putting the link. You can read this Google patent for more clarification. Many other people have shared this Google patent, so you can read this. It is very interesting Google Microsoft patent. You can read and understand its analysis, how this patent is recommending site structure based on root seed node. Next question is, I have no idea about ontology and taxonomy, and why are they so important to be understood? Okay, this question is very interesting. What is ontology? Ontology is the connected graph of entities and their attributes. So, how entities are connected with other attributes and in which relation. So, you need to understand the ontology of your topic. You can utilize frame semantics. Yes, I have a frame semantics custom GPT that I already shared on my social media. Here you need to give your entity cleaning business. So I gave this cleaning business entity to this GPT. It will provide the ontology too. So let's wait for it. So ontology is the step-by-step structure how entities and their attributes are connected with each other, which is the parent topic or entity, and what are the subtopics or sub-entities for the main search topic. And next thing is taxonomy, how the topics are connected in the knowledge graph. So you need to understand, because based on the ontology and taxonomy, you need to arrange your topics. What are the parent topic? So is the parent topic of the whole topical map, and then feed is the cluster page or cluster hub of the specific audience needs or context that have child pages or node. So this is another topic or seed, and then node is the page or singular context of our target audience for which we are writing. So in this way, we need to arrange our site structure. If you ask one word answer, so it is the site structure. Ontology and taxonomies help arrange the site structure. Taxonomy of web documents. There is a document, no, not this one. Taxonomy of web document. There is a research paper I want to share with you. Yeah, this one, a taxonomy of web search. This is useful research paper, a taxonomy of web search. I am sharing the link. You can understand what is the importance of taxonomy for the semantic search engine. Question 12. If we find attributes from the internet or even SEMrush and it doesn't have volume, how should I cover it and decide with prominence, popularity, and relevance? That is a good question. So here we can say that when you have found the attributes and those have no such volume, now their prominence will help you to arrange where to set those pages on our website. So the best way is zero volume attributes. The main purpose of these zero volume attributes is user has singular search demands. User have their separate intents that are depicted mostly in the long tail keywords. Long tail queries mostly have very low search volume, but for these queries there are feature snippets, and now there are AI mode answers and AI overviews. So you need to check their relevance for the related topic. What are their related topics? And you need to put them in their existing pages. For example, you have a query, very specific long tail query, but it has a zero search volume. Then you will not create a page for that query. because when you have not a specific user demand from the target audience, you don't need to create a page. So you will check the parent topic of that query where you can put this query as a subsection or subtopic. So this is the way to handle arrange it in the arrange it as a subtopic in its parent topic. The next question is what processes should be allowed to create a proper topical map based on Corey's framework, and can you explain with an example? I have explained the process, but to explain the example, I have planned 15 videos that are minimum. So in the answer of question 2, I have explained the process. You can consult from that, and for the example, complete example and fullest details, wait for my YouTube videos. I will explain each concept and each thing with concrete example for easier understanding. What tools do you use to create a topical map? I use uh, AI tools and SEO tools for the research purpose. For example, I have shown you 3 to 4 tools that I use for the research. One tool is missing. This is not the thing I was looking for. We have frame semantics analysis. So this is one tool. Yes, this is the tool cleaning business. It has not worked spelling mistake, but it will understand no issue. Only lexical path analyzer is missing. That tool I use for understanding the lexical connections between the topics and words. We are moving towards the next question, question 15. My niche digital marketing service in Tamil Nadu. How to start my first step of semantic SEO step by step, please. Okay, so first step is topical map creation, then content brief creation, content brief preparation, then semantic content writing, plus publishing, and then content configuration. After 3 to 4 months, you will analyze your GSE queries on which queries your pages are getting impressions, and then you will check whether these contexts and intents have been covered in your document or not. If your page doesn't contain those impression queries, you need to add those in your page. So this is the full plan of content strategy for any business, or you can say every business. And besides this content strategy, you need to have off-page strategy for off-page authority, link building, etc., brand mentions, etc., and then technical SEO optimization for your website. Then question 15, in the APK site, we cover full-fledged detailed articles like intro, table, features, comparison, pros and cons, downloading and installation processes. For semantics, can we add a separate article on installation, downloading, features, etc., or link them with the pillar page home? Is it effective or not? Yes, it all depends on your main topic. If your topic has enough search volume, for example, if you are offering IBM downloader software for Windows and its downloading and installation has separate indexes, you need to understand whether installation and downloading is different from SERP analysis. If they are same, you may create the same page for installation and downloading. And then the user demand. that is search volume. You need to check if there is a sufficient user demand for that topic. You can create a page only if your site is offering that product, or if it is a main topic, one of the main topic or main offer of your website. When it is a main offer of your website, you can expand it where there is a specific user demand, plus there is a separate index on the search results. People are also, your competitors are also writing on that topic, so you are good to go with those topics. In Romanian cosmetics products, site install the Google tag on site and linked with GA4, and still showing some products are not tagged. So what's the best solution and resolve this issue? You can check FTP files whether the tag is fully installed or not, or it is a manual process. So I can't make any theoretical answer for that. We need to check that. Question 17. In WP site, robots.txt file shows the old version or plugin generated, but I updated manually or clear caches and update the plugins, but still shown the previous ones. Why? So theoretically, I can't make any assumption that this may be reason. So manual analysis will help understand why the plugin update or tool update are is not implemented site-wide. So the backend evaluation is needed here. Question 18. While writing a blog, how can you outperform a competitor who is already an authority in the niche? Here is a clear case study from Sir Koray, that is quality thresholds. Quality thresholds and predictive ranking. Yes, this is on crawl, and there is also YouTube video. I am putting the link here. You can read this case study. In 2022, Sir Koray was able to outrank Healthline, WebMD, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Health, and other authority health websites with just 27 articles. So it is all about measuring and outranking quality thresholds. You need to understand what quality thresholds your competitors have set on the SERP, what quality standards your competitors have in their content. You need to beat those qualities, and if it is informational aspect, you may beat authority websites without link building for only informational, but for commercial and navigational queries you surely need link building and technical SEO to beat authoritative competitors. And by the way, I have written an easy version of this article that is very much technical, that I need to read 2 to 3 times, and then I was able to understand, and then I tried to simplify this article on Medium. You can search for that, or I can provide you afterwards. Next question is, I am having trouble choosing the contextual borders, and after that I am not sure how to select the questions. And this question is from our beloved Akib Shah. This guy is very much updated with semantic SEO concepts, and it always comes with very deep questions. I am happy for his questions. I am having trouble choosing the contextual border. So contextual border is the limit where you are going out of context. You need to understand when you are going out of context and when you are going out of your contextual borders. You need to understand what is your source context. First, checking is source context, and then prominence, popularity, relevance. So these two things are the main players for defining the contextual borders. And after that, I am not sure how to select the questions. And regarding selecting the questions, it is keyword to question. There are some algorithms from Google that convert user queries in the that are in the form of in the keywords. They convert keywords into question format. So we need to understand how to convert keywords into questions. So our meeting is about to end, and we will share our new link for the remaining questions. I will complete all these questions today only, and then in the next session, we will discuss new questions. So here, how to select the questions? You need to select the questions, and question is about contextual.